Happy Self Love Sunday. I am Moe Sass, your host of Self Love Sundays with Sass. I am US certified vision and extreme execution coach who comes every single Sunday so we can talk about all the ways in which we can better our best. And I can't even believe that we're almost at the end of February. Time is flying. I hope whatever vision you have set for your life that you are stepping into it boldly and powerfully in this year. And I cannot wait to see as we continue to embark on this journey where you end up at the end of 2023. So today I want to start off by reading the excerpt out of a book and we can talk about it, okay? So it starts off as the introduction. Grow a wise heart, you'll do yourself a favor. Keep a clear head, you'll find a good life. Proverbs 19:8. And it starts off, one night I looked up after yet another failed relationship and said, enough was enough. I knew there was more to life than all that I had been experiencing. I had friendships that fell apart. I mean, people I love deeply. I don't let people in my heart easily, so if someone could feel my heart, I gave it all away. I was burnt out. I was exhausted. I always overgave, overcommitted, overcared, overcried, and I was over it. This is how the book started, y'all. Have any one of you ever felt like that? Like just felt like, listen, enough is enough is enough. Like I am over it. I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I'm tired of giving people my all. And people who are supposed to love me back the way I give love, right? And so you may ask, what can I do in those situations? And the thing that I love the most about this book is it outlines different ways and different things that you can do. And I want to tell you that before I had a vision for my life, I had to learn to love myself. So the book that I'm reading is a book that I pray that you'll pick up and read as well, because it will begin you on your journey to get into a place where you can even have a vision. Because most people I discover in my coaching is that they don't have a vision for their life. They don't have a vision for their family. They don't have a vision for their finances. They don't have a vision for their health. They don't have a vision for their mental health as well as their physical health, as well as their spiritual health. And in order to be successful in life, you need to write the vision and make it plain. Where is it that you want to do? Where is it that you want to end? What do you want? What do you want? And this is how we begin to create a vision for our life. And why is vision important? It's important because it will empower you to leave a legacy for your children's children. How will 3 generations from now know that you existed? How? What is it that you're going to leave in this earth? And it doesn't always have to be about money. And there's nothing wrong with wealth at all. But it doesn't always have to be that. And you're like, what do you mean by that? Well, my grandmother left a legacy of spiritual health. It was my foundation. It gave me something to come back to. So every time life got hectic and it got hard and life was lifing, as I call it, I had a strong foundation to come back to. And it was because of the legacy that she left behind. Now, my grandmother, Virginia Blackwell, is no longer living, but I know God as a result of her. And my father's mother, who is Josephine Sass, was my inspiration behind getting my book completed before I was hell bent on getting this book done before my grandmother left this earth, because I also wanted her to know that her prayers, which are legacy, are the reason why I am who I am today. So that's what I mean by that. There is nothing wrong with leaving generational wealth. As a matter of fact, I think that it should be a part of the everyday conversation. And it is something that I'm working to obtain because I want my children to not be left behind, right? So it was like, for my parents, they gave me as much as they could. But we are now, if you are in the age of, your 40s, your 30s, listen, you have no excuse. My parents didn't have the access to resources that we had. They didn't understand the importance of going to therapy and in healing your trauma and all that happened to you. They didn't even have the ability to do that. If you stop to think about when your parents, especially if you're in your 40s and late 40s, what they were still enduring as a young child, they didn't have the ability to even have the thought pattern. They did the best that they could during their time. But now it's your time. And so it's time to heal. No more carrying mommy and daddy wounds into this next generation. You have an opportunity to heal it. And you're going to say, how? Because many people know the what, but they don't know the how. It starts with you asking yourself the very question that you think that you ask, but you don't. What do you really want for your life? What do you want the outcome to be? You tell me every time I see you what you don't want. You tell everybody you come across what you don't want. You complain about everything that's happening in this world. So my thing is, but what do you want for it? Because when you start to ask that question, then you can say, what action can I take to help do it? And then you can say to yourself, who do I need to become on the journey to getting there? So it starts with the question. There's many problems in this world. But I want you to understand when you listen to this that you can be the solution because you are the solution. There is no one else that can do it. It's you. It's you. And I know it's hard to hear. You want the government to solve it. You want everybody else to solve it. You want people to stop your hurting. You want people to stop the hurting and the pain in the world. But here's what I'm going to tell you. No one else can do it but you. And the way to do it so that you don't feel overwhelmed and you don't feel the pressure is to write the vision. What is the end? What do you want 5 years from now? Right? And then what you do is you walk it back and say, well, what do I need to do in this year to get to the 5 year? And then you walk it back and say, what do I need to do in the month to get to the year? And then you walk it back and say, what do I need to do in the week to get to the month? And then you walk it back and say, what do I need to do today? That's how you get there. And it's not going to happen overnight. And it's not going to always be easy. And it's not going to always be joyful. And sometimes you're going to feel a little depressed on the way to getting there because you're going to realize some of the old thought patterns and beliefs that you held on to no longer can go with you on this journey. You're going to find that some of the people that you loved along the way can't go to the next stretch of this journey. You're going to find that sometimes you absolutely have to be alone on the next step to the journey. And so within that, here's what I want to empower you with. Let the old parts of you die. You know why sometimes that depression sets in? And I want to make a disclaimer right here, right now. I'm not talking about people who are clinically depressed. I'm not talking about people with diagnosis. I am not a therapist, nor will I pretend to be one, okay? What I'm talking about is those people who are sitting in between that limbo of knowing that this is not quite where I'm supposed to be, yet I don't know quite where I'm going. I want you to understand some of that depression is the old parts of you must die. And it's hard. And you want to hold on. That's the yin and the yang. That's the pressure. That's the stress. It's like the new me knows that the outdated beliefs, the outdated people, the outdated environments must go. They know it. But yet I'm scared because this is familiar. Even though it may feel like hell, this is a familiar hell. I don't know about that heaven. I don't know if that can exist. So I start to question and I fight and I wrestle. And I'm here to tell you, all you have to do is let go. All you have to do is let go. And when you let go, the next action step is to take a step. God, the universe, your plans, your vision for your life will meet you where you step, not where you stand. You can't stand in the old familiar anymore. And you can't stand in the old comfort zone anymore. You have to get uncomfortable, and uncomfortable don't feel well. It doesn't feel good. And uncomfortable will make you think that maybe I need to go and I may need to grab a drug to help with his anxiety, or need to go grab a drink to help with his anxiety, or need to go grab onto some old familiar thing that doesn't serve your highest good, nor will it help you feel better in the morning. And so you ask, what can I grab? Grab hold to the vision, and grab hold to your spiritual higher source, whatever that is for you. Grab hold to a community who will love and support you. Grab hold to a support group that will help you when you feel overwhelmed or feel like you want to go take a drink or feel like you want to go take a drug. That will help you walk through the feeling. Grab hold to that. That is the answer, and that is the way. Grab hold to a therapist. If you are afraid to go inside and you need someone on the outside who won't judge you and who will not look down on you, grab hold to a coach that will help you recognize the blind spot that you can't even see of why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And will also give you the tips and tools to get to the next step when you don't know what to do. But I promise you that if you do that, the doors of abundance that will open for you, the doors of opportunity, they'll swing wide open for you. And I'm going to tell you something else that's going to happen. You're going to see all the wealth of opportunity that was around you already that you wasn't able to see. You couldn't see it because you couldn't love yourself enough to see it. In the rooms that you thought that you messed up because you self-sabotaged when you got in them, when you got that last opportunity, and you're still holding on to how you may have thought you messed up, you're going to begin to feel that low lightning and know that what's for you is not going to pass you. And if you take that lesson that you learned forward, that new opportunities will come. And guess what's going to happen? You won't mess up this time. You won't self-sabotage it. You'll know that you'll belong there. You'll know that you're worthy. And how will you begin to know it? Because you're going to take the steps to finding your way. And you're going to start to take the steps to love and heal yourself on whatever level you are. Many people ask me who this book is for. It's for everyone, whether you're beginning your journey or in the middle or think you're towards the end. Because so many of us, like me, who was a coach, think, I got this together until something happened in my life and I realized that I was human. And there is still more. And there will always be layers. That's why you get to enjoy the journey. Because you will know that each step, there's going to be something more that you will uncover about you. It's not about the other people. It's not about the places. It's not about the environment. It's about what you uncover for you. So when I started this off, I actually read the excerpt out of this very book. And so what I want for you and what my hope is and my wish is that you pick this up and you begin on your journey right where you are. And know that it will be okay in the morning, but you got to give yourself a running start. And I'm not saying to you that this book is the end all be all, but I'm telling you that even if a sentence helps you on your journey, it was worth it. And a lot of us don't believe or know that. And this is why we continue to sit and stew in our own mess. And we don't even smell it anymore. Because we don't give ourselves a fighting chance. We rather sit around and complain and be draining than to say, you know what? I can be the solution to that problem. It all begins and ends with me. What am I going to do today? What question am I going to ask myself today? What old belief pattern am I going to leave behind today? You absolutely can do it today. What am I going to journal today to get it out of my body, to get it out of my lower back, to get it out of my knees? Oh, why my body is hurting and aching. I think it's the pains of getting older. I say it's the pain of holding the traumas in your body that you never let out because you can't speak that thing that's hurting you on the inside. And you think you forgave it and you think you walked away from it and you think, well, I'm good. Never realizing that until you heal it, you are self-sabotaging things in your life. You are self-sabotaging that love and those healings and those blessings that can't miss you. And it's for everyone. It's not just for me. It's not just for those people that you see that are millionaires. It's for you too. But we all did one thing, and that's we made a decision that enough was enough, that I was over it, and that I can be, do, or have anything I want in this life. All it takes for me is to believe it and then get into action. You can't stand still and wait for the world to change. You can't stand still and hope and wish and pray that everything in your life is going to be better. You have to actually take a step. You have to actually decide. And whether you believe it or not, no decision is a decision. And whether you believe it or not, even if you make the wrong decision, that's the right decision. Because what it will do is allow you to learn. And you should always be willing to be a student of life. I want you to know that if a $322 a month welfare single mother that literally is from the hood, okay, who still loves her New Jersey hoop earrings, by the way, can do this, so can you. I don't share my story so it can be me, me, me. I share my story so I hope that you know that you can absolutely do this too. It ain't even about me. I don't come here every single Sunday because it's about me. I come here every single Sunday with the hopes that you know that it's about you. And I want you to know that you're going to be able to touch somebody else as well when you step into it. How do I know that? I shared with you last week that my very first time I decided that I had enough, and I'm going to share a little bit more in the book, but you have to pick it up to understand it, that when I ran to the therapist's office literally 2 hours before she was supposed to get there, and I was literally on her doorstep crying my eyes out, that was the moment that I made the decision. And as the direct result of that decision, I get to touch people who I've never thought I would touch with my story. And I watch them change too. I'm watching my clients I never knew I would have back in 2014 when I was going through my breakdown. I changed their lives for the better. And I'm not talking about change, they're actually transforming. So it's not about the me, it's really about the you. And I want you to hear that today. So in your journey, I want you to know that somebody needs you. You may not think it or feel it right now, but I promise you, when you take that step to healing you, they're going to appear. Because when the student is ready, the teacher has no other choice but to appear. So I love you. I hope you have the most amazing Sunday. If you want to reach out to me, info@Moe Sass, you can always email me, or www.moesass.com. I will leave the links in this video, below the video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.